Hey there, Tamir from Fibonacci-Traders.com, your weekly market recap from a ski resort in China. Super cold, not much of a snow. Like, subscribe, and let's see what SPY and Friends brought us in the past week. As usual, for the weekly market recap, we'll go over SPY and Friends on the weekly charts. And as you can see, after two consecutive dojis of the weekly, bulls taking a rest, bears trying to take control. You can also see the volume here rising. Weekly chart, 462 needs to hold below it 450, and then we have a daily gap at the 441. This is how SPY looks on the daily. We have some kind of a broadening formation, grinding down slowly to retest this orange trend line. Breaking below this orange trend line, in my opinion, 454 will come next. And then this gap at the 441 on the SPY will get filled. For now, first week of 2024, cool off on the SPY. Also, if we take a look on the Qs, this is how the Qs looks. Qs went down 3% on the weekly in the first week of 2024. Below 396, we will see 384. And then this white trend line to the downside. This white trend line is holding the higher lows. As you can see, always look left. October 2022, since then, higher lows on the Qs. We also have a slight gap over here. So let's see if bulls of Qs can come back, retesting, closing this gap, and then next leg up above 412 towards the 434 or 463. But for now, looks like the Qs, bulls of the Qs, taking a rest. 384, in my opinion, will come next. And of course, everything you see and hear on my videos and on my channel is for educational purposes only. You know the drill. Follow to get ideas, but in the end of the day, it's your money. Take care of your money. And if you don't know how to take care of your money, stop trading. Dow Jones now looks like we had this trend line for the higher highs since February of 2023. Now, bulls of the Dow looks like they are getting tired. They need to hold above the 370, 80, 371. But you don't need to guess. We can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, and Fibonacci will give us everything that we need for future support and resistance. We can also take Fibonacci from here. 370.17 is the next support. Below it, 364 and 355. 355 was the peak of July, but all this area, the 355, 360, is a very important area of support, will become a very important area of support because it was a very important area of resistance. So stay tuned. We are going to have a very interesting January 2024. CPI is coming up next week. So let's see. Something fell here. Sorry. I'm not in my usual office. So it happens. IWM back below the 200. This 200 area is not giving up after 2 weeks above the 200. Bulls of IWM just gave up. Bears came in 2 weeks to the downside. Now 187 needs to hold. Otherwise, back to the 177. Looks like all the market is taking a rest. Bulls all across the market taking a breath. They want to see what the CPI will bring them. Bitcoin, with all the news, all we need to do is ignore the news. Trade price. Trade, what do you see? Ladies and gentlemen, what do you see? 5 weeks of sideways move. 39,800 support. 44,500 resistance. So what does it tell you? You need to ask yourself, what if? What if price, not news, what if price will break below the 39,800? You have all the Fibonacci levels to the downside all the way to this orange trend line. This orange trend line holding, we can be a little bit more accurate. This orange trend line, as you can see, is holding the higher lows since November of 2022. Also here, same price section we saw over here, we got over here. Now, if price will break below the 39,800, most likely Bitcoin will go back, retesting this orange trend line before the next leg up. But what if price of Bitcoin will close a weekly above the 44,500? We are heading north toward the 61 because this orange trend line, support, resistance, once again will become resistance once price will hit this area over here. Ignore the news, follow price, multi time frames, zoom in, zoom out. This is the only way you will know how to trade, and more likely, more important, you will know with the highest probability where price might be heading next. Ethereum, same thing. 5 weeks sideways move from the 2055, that was a very tough resistance. Look left. Since July of 2022, it was resistance until end of November. Broke up, and since then, all this area support. Now, the 2470 area is a very tough resistance. Ask yourself, what if? Don't ask yourself, what if the news? Ask yourself, what if price will break above the 2471? You have this orange trend line to the upside. Look left, resistance, resistance for the higher highs. So with higher probability, above 2470, we will reach 3100, around 3100 for the next resistance. What if bulls will give up holding the 2055? Most likely we will go and retest this trend line to the downside. Crude oil back to the 67 area, very important area of support, once again touched. Now trying to bounce back up. We have a double bottom scenario, multi-bottom scenario of the 66, 67 area. Now you can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, long above 77, and then you have all the levels to the upside. But you also need to zoom out. You have this trend line from this high of March of 2022, the high of June of 2022, and the high of September of 2023. Lower highs on a higher time frame. So above 77, we will see 83 over here, 83, 86, and then we need to ask ourselves, what if price will finally break above on the weekly time frame? What if price will break above this green trend line? We will see 95 and 117 to the upside. Of course, it's my opinion. If you want to have your own opinion, stop following others to tell you what to do, where to buy, how to buy, where to sell, how much to sell. First, you need to stop trading. Second, check the links in the description below. We have the one-on-one live mentorship program with me. It's in English or Hebrew, lifetime access for support, guidance, all Discord channels, lifetime access. Why? Because I am 100% sure that if you are committed to this process, you will succeed. If you really want to take care of your financial freedom, you will succeed. And if you are committed, I will be 100, 200% committed to you until you will become a professional, profitable trader for the long run. And I'm pretty sure that my strategy is a very simple strategy to learn, so you can implement it also to your lifestyle, your risk tolerance. Once again, if you're committed to the process, I will make sure to be committed 200% to you until you will succeed. This is why I give lifetime access with no extra charges. Natural gas, uptrend channel, now long continuation above the 288, and then we will see 433 once again with this upper trend line. It all comes down, multi-time frames, candlestick analysis, aka pure price action, Fibonacci, and trend lines. SOXX and the weekly flashed down, but overall we are still in an uptrend. One candle, as red as it may seem, does not change the overall sentiment. The overall sentiment on SOXX since October, higher lows, higher highs. Also since November, October, still in an uptrend. Needs to hold above the 520. Then we will look for the bounce back up. Below 520, we will see 484. So learn how to manage your risk. If you don't know how to manage your risk, first, go to the Fibonacci Academy playlist. You have free 32 or 33 videos already. The basics, the fundamentals, how to become a better trader each and every day. Each day, check one video. Each video no longer than 15 minutes. On the technical side, how to manage risk, how to use ATR, how to use trend lines, how to use Fibonacci, and of course, multiple videos on the psychology behind trading. Never neglect the psychology behind trading, because in the end of the day, it doesn't matter which strategy you have. If you lack the mental resilience, if you don't know how to manage your emotions, you will fail. And it doesn't matter which strategy, which technical analysis you're using. Trust me, I've been there. I've made all the mistakes that you are doing and still doing. I've made them all. I've learned from them. This is why I want to help you shorten this learning curve, and it's a very steep and a very tough learning curve to become professional trader. Not only professional technical analysis, also a professional trader. It's a big difference between reading a chart and how to trade what you see. XLE moving sideways, long above 86.60, short below 82.40, back to the C76. But if you're a pattern trader, pattern seeker, on the weekly chart, you can see some kind of a cup, handle, but everybody sees whatever they want when it comes to patterns. The only thing everybody can agree is on the price action. And for now, price action on XLE since September is going down, now moving sideways in the past 2 months. So for now on XLE, nothing much. XLV finally breaking above the 139 area. This area, very tough resistance. I want to see continuation above it. And then we will hit 143 and 157. Next, we have Apple. Apple, as you remember, we have talked about a black swan event. We have talked about this double top scenario on the weekly on Apple. And here we are. This double top scenario is getting validated first week of 2024. And Apple is 6% to the downside now. 178 needs to hold. Otherwise, 166 is next. Below 166, ladies and gentlemen, Apple is going back to the 150, and this double top scenario will finish at the 150. Bulls of Apple needs to wake up, because wherever Apple goes, the market follows. Let's see how Apple and the rest of the market will react to CPI. Tesla, another week downside, and here we are once again, a great example of why trend lines, They are our roadmap for future price action. Each and every, you know this red trend line. We have been talking about this red trend line in the past few weeks, past few months already. Each and every time Tesla and the weekly reach this trend line, getting rejected. As you can see here, 6 times already. 2 more times it needs to get rejected. 7th and the 8th time it will break to the upside. When the 8th time will happen, no one knows. It can be next week. It can be here. It can be at the 200. No one knows. The only thing we can be sure of is that for now, Tesla is to the downside. We can take Fibonacci swing low, swing high. And now 232 is holding as support. It was support over here, resistance over here. Now once again needs to hold the support. Below it 214, then 197. Below 197, we are going back to the 150. Let's see on the daily chart how Tesla looks. Broke below an uptrend channel. Now the 231 needs to hold. Otherwise we have this gap that will get filled. And once this gap will get filled, we will look for some kind of a bounce. But remember this trend line from support. Now this trend line will become resistance. We have end of January. We have Tesla's earnings. So keep your eyes on Tesla. Very interesting January is going to be for Tesla. Amazon on the daily looks like this. Are we going to see the same price action we saw over here? Over here. Usually price likes to do the same action it did in the past. Look at this red candle on Amazon. 4.4% to the downside in 1 week. But as we all know, one candle, doesn't matter how big this candle is to the downside or to the upside, one candle does not change the overall sentiment. The overall sentiment on Amazon since November just moving sideways, but since October we are still in an uptrend. Very nice uptrend on Amazon. Now this trend line from this low to this low to this low, as you can see, trend lines are our roadmap for future price action. Know your trend lines on multi-time frames. No other indicator, trust me, no other indicator from all these thousands and thousands of indicators. All these indicators are purely lagging after price. But what price follows? Price needs to follow something, right? Well, flash news. Price follows Fibonacci and trend lines. You don't need to believe me? Check it out. Do your own research. I've done it. It took me 2 years to understand that price follows trend lines and Fibonacci, and all the rest follows price. Microsoft, since middle of November, moving sideways. 366 to the downside is the support. Below it 353 and then 335. Long continuation on Microsoft, only above 377, then 384, and then 440. Meta grinding up slowly. Let's take Fibonacci. Let's be a little bit more accurate on Fibonacci. What do you see on Meta? Uptrend until proven otherwise. What do I mean? Take this trend line. This trend line is holding the higher lows. So as long as this trend line is holding the higher lows, Meta is in an uptrend, long continuation above 362, and then we will see 430 to the downside. Shopify basically doing nothing since end of November, but Shopify is holding strong above this red line, the 71 area, holding strong support. Now let's see continuation above the 77 towards this orange trend line, and as you can see, we have trend lines, we have broadening formation. All the trend lines that you see, all the channels that you see are just a part of a bigger broadening formation. We need to accept that the only true formation that price moves, price aggregates, is broadening formation. All the rest of the patterns are just, they don't exist. Everyone can see whatever they want. Some will see head and shoulders. Some will see inverted head and shoulders. Some will see cup and handle. Some will see bull flag, bull pennant. Anyone can see whatever they want. The only thing we can all agree about is trend lines, aka broadening formation, and price action. That's it. So learn it. AMD holding nice above the 132 area. All this area was resistance over here at the peak of June and July. Now becomes support. Let's see continuation above last week's highs towards the 150, and then where price of AMD might be heading next. Take Fibonacci. Above 150 we have 171 and 202. Google still in an uptrend, as you can see, but we need to see a touch and a bounce of this trend line, maybe at the 130 area, and then we will look for a bounce back. You have Fibonacci to let you know. Below 133, sorry, below 133, we will see a touch and maybe a bounce of this trend line. Until then, if you're already long on Google, manage your risk. If you're not long yet on Google, wait to see a trend reversal, same as we saw here, same as we saw here. Look for a touch and a bounce on a weekly chart on Google, and then we can start taking long on Google. Nvidia stuck inside this red zone. Long continuation in Nvidia, only a weekly close, maybe more than a week, maybe a week and a half above 503. Why more than a week? Because look how many weeks Nvidia tried and failed. So one weekly candle will not change the overall sentiment. Wait, don't FOMO. Wait for a nice break above the 503, and then we will see 536 and 583 breaking below the 476. We will see 458, and then below 458 on a weekly chart, weekly close above the below the 458, back to the 400. Netflix, last but not least, nothing much. Sideways move. Long continuation above 486 towards 532 and then 600. Below 451, we will see retesting this orange trend line as the support, same as it held support over here, support over here. So below 451, we will look for a touch and a bounce of this orange trend line. Don't forget to hit the notification bell because more videos, my top stocks to watch for the coming week, coming up later this weekend. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, and until then, stay safe. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, like, subscribe, share with friends. Don't forget we are going live each trading day, 8:30 Eastern Time. Until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend.